Welcome in, man. Today is October the 13th. Welcome to the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Today we are continuing the NBA team previews. 2 more teams to get done as we finish up. I think it's 8 more teams that we got left before we finish with all of the teams in the NBA, and we're getting really close to actual game time. Some regular season action as well. So this will be the Houston Rockets and Orlando Magic. The 76ers and the Golden State Warriors will be the next preview. And like I said, just 8 more teams left altogether. So if you missed any of these, definitely go back and check them out. It's kind of catching everybody up, myself included, on all these different teams, what they did, not just from an off-season perspective, but how they finished out last season. All of those good things, man. So definitely check out these previews. You can find all of them under the video section of my YouTube channel. Let's jump right into it, man. First team up for today, and it's actually 2 teams that I'm really interested in making a bet on. A pre-season bet. First team we got up is the Orlando Magic, and I just want to make sure I got all my notes up on Orlando Magic real quick, because this is a team that I really like a lot. So we'll start with, always start with where they ended last season. This was a really good team. They ended up winning 50 games if you include the postseason. 50-39 straight up. They were 55-33-1 against the number last season. That's 62.5% were the Orlando Magic. And if you're thinking to yourself, where does 62.5% rank in the NBA as far as ATS covering percentage? Number 1. This was the best ATS team last year. Really reminded a lot of people of the Oklahoma City Thunder from 2 years ago, before they, when they were dogs and, kind of proving everybody wrong. You just kind of look at the, development of the team, man. They continued to trend upward last season. 47 games is what they won in the regular season. They make it to the playoffs for the first time since the 2020 season. They played a tough fought 7-game series against the Cleveland Cavaliers before they did end up losing that game. I remember being on the Cleveland Cavaliers, being on the Orlando Magic in Game 7 after they had won back-to-back games against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Cleveland was able to get the win in Game 7 in Cleveland. All of those were significant signs of improvement for this franchise. They just kind of, reaping the benefits of drafting really good players, and Coach Jamal Mosley is a really good coach as well. Defensive-minded coach, which is why I like backing this team. Paulo Banchero had a great year last year. He averaged 22.5 points, 7 rebounds, and almost 5.5 assists as well. And you have Franz Wagner, 20 points, right under 20 points per game as well. Great duo. Jalen Suggs is a really good defender, one of the top guard defenders in the league as well. And they stayed competitive. This team was really good last season. So what do? They go out, they re-sign Gogo Batadze, who played a lot better than I thought he would, especially in some of those moments where Wendell Carter Jr. was hurt last year. Gary Harris comes back. They re-sign him. Jonathan Isaac. As long as he can stay healthy, he's an absolute freak. This dude is a monster, specifically on the defensive end, with his ability just to be able to alter shots, rebound the basketball, and block shots. But you re-sign him. Both of the Wagner brothers get a contract extension as well. And then you bring over KCP. Probably the sneakiest, quietest, most underrated move out of any team in the offseason. KCP to this team is going to be really good in my opinion. They also bring in Corey Joseph, because the one thing that they did lack last year was a point guard. I talked about, Jalen Suggs being, really good on the defensive end. He's not necessarily a natural point guard, though. And I think that was one of the things that really hindered this team, because Orlando was good defensively. Number 2 in points allowed per 100 possessions. Number 2 in forcing turnover and opponent turnover percentage. They gave up the second fewest offensive rebounds. This was an elite team on the defensive end. They defended really well, but their struggles came on the offensive end. They were 22nd in points scored per 100 possessions. They turned the ball over a lot, 24th in that category as well. And they really struggled to shoot the ball, specifically from the 3-point line. A lot of inefficiencies there. They didn't get out and run in transition. Not a lot of easy baskets. They were 25th in points scored per 100 possessions in the fast break. They didn't run the fast break, 25th in that category as well. And just not a lot. They didn't really just get out a lot and run. So they don't lose anything though. You just lose Joe Ingles, who's like I mean, feels like he's 120 years old anyway. Of course, he's in Orlando. I mean, he's in Minnesota now in the Timberwolves. So you do lose some veteran depth there, but KCP is by far light years. You give me KCP or Joe Ingles, is KCP every day of the week. And he has that veteran presence. Championship, won 2 of them so far, one with the Lakers, one with the Nuggets. So I like that. You look at the strength of schedule for this team, 3rd easiest schedule in the league this season. And remember, when I say strength of schedule, this is, everything factored in. This is back-to-backs, 3rd game in 4 nights, 4th game in 5th nights, mileage that the team has to travel. Also taking in things in consideration like rest advantage versus rest disadvantage. As you can see, they got 11 games with the rest advantage, only 8 without it. And the 13 back-to-backs are also a league low as well. So this Magic team, man, I know that they're not necessarily going to be hunting. I think teams will be looking for this Magic team this season, understanding that they're a lot better than even projected. Because a lot of what I've been reading so far about this team is that the Magic are supposed to regress. They're supposed to regress back to the mean. I'm not thinking so, man. I think that this team can win 50 games. You see that regular season win total, bottom right corner, 47.5. You can get a plus 100 on FanDuel. Very, very close and tempted to play that. I think if anything, the Magic are just going to rely on defense. Even if the offense doesn't play better, which I do think it plays better, I still think that they can rely on their defense here to be able to win games. And that's something that we saw last year. If anything, I think the offense gets a little bit better, though. You can see that they're actually the division favorites in the Southeast Division. This is a division that they've always been a little brother to the Miami Heat. The Atlanta Hawks as well, but they're actually the favorite. You can get them at minus 140, best number I see for them to win the Southeast Division, and it's 6,500 for them to win the championship. I think I'm gonna pump the brakes on that one, but I am really high on this Orlando Magic team. I think, like I said, KCP is the most slept on part. I think he helps his team tremendously. A veteran that can space the floor by being able to shoot the 3. He plays really good defense, which should help him fit right into this Orlando culture. And like I said, he got championship pedigree, 2 championships. Last year, the Magic, they vaulted from the 18th best defense in 2022-2023 to the 3rd best defensive rated team in 2023-2024 last season. So I'm high on this Magic team, man. I like this team a lot. Got to figure out how I'm going to play them in some form of way. Let's move on to the next one, though. Enough about the Orlando Magic. Let's go to Houston, H-Town. So this Rockets team also was a team that, exceeded expectations last season, as did the Orlando Magic. 41-41 straight up in the regular season, 46-35-1 against the number last season. So they covered a few more spreads than Vegas had them doing, and they were a big split team, right? Home road made a big difference for them. 27-14 straight up at the crib, 27-13-1 against the number at home. So they were amazing at home. And the complete opposite on the road, 14-27 straight up, only 19-22 against the number on the road. So not as much on the road. And you kind of expect that. When you think about the roster makeup of this team, it was Coach Ime Udoka's first year there, trying to change the culture. This was a terrible team. The Houston Rockets have been bad since James Harden left. And, he kind of started to change the trajectory of this team. They were very close to making the playoffs, 37-24. Which is actually 61% against the spread after the All-Star break. It was actually the 3rd best ATS record after the All-Star break. Remember, they went on that crazy run where they won 11 games in a row, kind of behind on the strength of Jalen Green. He really turned it up a lot before they ended up being knocked out by the Golden State Warriors for that last play-in spot. Sengun played really, really well last season, averaging 21 points and 9 rebounds. And, everything that I'm reading says that Sengun is having a really good preseason as well. Not just him, but a lot of players are having a really good preseason. So they re-signed Aaron Holiday, which gives them some depth at the point guard position. They also go out and draft Reed Shepherd, who's a very athletic 6'3" guard that should be able to help them offensively, playing behind Fred VanVleet, probably picking Fred VanVleet, learning a lot from him as well. And they did trade for AJ Griffin, but he ended up retiring. So he won't be there. But I did add Steven Adams to the mix here because he didn't play last year. Remember, he ended up getting traded. He was in Memphis, got traded. He was hurt for the full season, but they ended up trading for him. So now you got a legit secondary center that can really, I think if we see Steven Adams that we used to, I mean, it's going to be difficult to go down there and get rebounds. Not that Houston isn't already a good rebounding team with Jabari Smith Jr. I think Houston is going to be good, man. I really, really do. I think that they'll continue to build, especially with Ime Udoka there. They'll play a really hard-nosed style defense, and you still got Dylan Brooks there. I think, this season, I think that they'll continue to want to build on that success from last year. Huge step in the right direction last season. And just to put some numbers to that, I said that they were 41-41 last season. 2 years ago, they were 22-60. So, I mean, that just lets you know you win 20 extra games. The year before that, they were 20-62. So 3 years ago, 20-62. I mean, this team, what's that? 42 wins over the last 41 wins last season, but only 42 wins the 2 years before that combined. So I think if the young guys can continue to shoot the ball a little bit better, that's one of the things that Houston really struggled with, is scoring the ball, specifically on the road. But like I said, Sengun, Jabari Smith Jr. continues to ascend. He had another really good year last year. Jalen Green, if he could take that next step and get to superstar status, I think that they'll be okay in a crowded Western Conference. I think that they could potentially be a surprise team in the West. You can see on the graphic to the right, for them to make the playoffs on DraftKings, you can get them at plus 120 right now, and that's what they're saying that the odds, the goals for the team is. They really want to make the playoffs, and potentially get into that. Maybe they end up making the play-in spot and playing through the play-in tournament, because the Western Conference is going to be good. We already know that. But I like this team, man. I like Cam Whitmore a lot. I think he gets a little more run this year. I like Tari Eason, who got hurt and missed the end of the last season as well. You got Amin Thompson, who is a freak athlete, can play defense, really lock you up, and Dylan Brooks as well. So I think the Rockets may be a little slept on to start the season, but I like this Rockets team, and I do want to find a way to bet them outside of. I want to put a season-long bet on them. I just haven't gotten through all the teams yet, so I'll keep my notes, circle the teams that I know I like, which both of these teams are. I haven't really said that too many times doing these recordings, doing these team previews, but I do like the Houston Rockets a lot this season. I do like the Orlando Magic a lot this season as well. You can see their strength of schedule. They do have the third most difficult schedule in the league, with only 9 games with the rest advantage, 11 without it. In the league has 16 back-to-backs, but this is a pretty young team. Outside of Steven Adams, outside of Fred VanVleet, I mean, they got a bunch of young guys, and I'm just of the mindset that Coach Ime Udoka be able to coach these guys up, and they'll be ready to play when it's time to throw the ball up in the air. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully they can get a little bit more injury luck on their side and not have as many injuries, because last year that really, really plagued them a lot as well. So I do want to make a bet with this team. 43.5 on their win total seems doable as well. Like I said, 41 last year, books projecting them to win about 3 more games. I kind of agree with that. I do think that they continue to ascend this year. And that'll be it for these two teams, man. Resources that I use to handicap, everything that I'm looking at as we get into NBA season, which is right around the corner, are here. Same thing for WNBA, same thing for NFL. Both of these resources you can use for both of them. So check out the referral code if you guys are interested in signing up. CBC will get you 20% off of OddsJam. ChrisBeCappinn with 2 P's and 2 N's will get you 50% off of Moneyballer. And both of those can be found in the description of this video. And if you're still watching, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button on the way out, man. Subscribe to the channel. We're going to run it up again this year in the NBA. Super excited to do just that. Link for all my official plays is in the description of the video. We had a pretty good NFL Sunday. Cashed on the WNBA as well. So hopefully we can build on that. But that's it for this one. I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. I'm out.